This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, welcome to episode 211 of This is the G Podcast. I'm Tommy B. Each week we do news, politics, pop culture, and that piping hot tea from Tanya B. Vi and Talib are back this week, and the big discussion is America at war? And we'll also discuss the MAGA NFL conspiracy theories. But first, let's do news with Syracuse Mike.
News team, assemble!
For the week in news with Syracuse Mike.
A drone attack killed 3 U.S. service members while wounding at least 30. It happened at an outpost in Jordan. This is the first time U.S. troops have been killed by enemy fire in the Mideast since the start of the war in Gaza. The Pentagon says militias backed by Iran have been behind more than 150 attacks on bases occupied by U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria since October. Most of the rockets have been intercepted. President Biden vowed that the United States will respond to those responsible at a time that the U.S. chooses. All 3 of those Army reservists killed during a drone strike at a U.S. military base in Jordan are from Georgia. The Defense Department has identified them as 46-year-old Sergeant William Rivers of Carrollton, 24-year-old Specialist Kennedy Sanders of Waycross, and Specialist Brianna Moffitt of Savannah. She was 23.
All of whom were assigned to the 718th Engineer Company, a U.S. Army Reserve unit based out of Fort Moore, Georgia. That's
Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh. By the way, Fort Moore was formerly known as Fort Benning, just outside of Columbus. U.S. Central Command said at least 34 troops were injured by the attack drone. It's believed they were likely sleeping when the attack took place. After lagging behind former President Trump for weeks or being stuck in a statistical tie, President Biden is now leading in a new Quinnipiac University poll. The nationwide poll shows Biden at 50% and Trump at 44%. The Quinnipiac poll was conducted between January 25th and January 29th. The boost for Biden came from women. The U.S. has responded to the attack that killed 3 Georgia Army reservists. There were 85 strikes against Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Force, plus targets in Iraq and Syria were hit that the U.S. says were linked to Sunday's attack on Americans. In a statement, President Biden said, "Let all those who might seek to do us harm know this. If you harm an American, we will respond." Actor Carl Weathers has died. He starred in several Rocky movies as Apollo Creed. Weathers was 76.
Appreciate it, Mike, for the headlines, man. Talib and Vi here. And I'm going to get to them in just a minute. But first, I got to say, big thanks to Thomas Lockett, man. Let me give him another round of applause from the band Slave, man. Great feedback on last episode. Hope we can get him back soon, man. He's doing some big things. Good for you, Thomas Lockett. Do it, do it, do it. And next, I got to give it up for Vi and Talib. Yes. Great to have. Let me go to Talib Shabazz first. Talib, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm fantastic, brother. Glad to be here on another Saturday.
Good stuff. Appreciate you being here, man.
Yes, sir.
And once again, Vi, the country commentator, trying to lock it up, going through the, as I call it. We were talking before the show about the awkward phase. So
the locks, yes.
So hang in there with them, Bree. But here's what I say. Better put the scissors up at night, man. Better put them up. Better put the scissors, sharp knives.
So when I go
wait
spend
for
the
the girl, don't fall asleep.
So when I spend the night with us, say, Bree, where your scissors at?
That's what I'm saying, because you wake up like Samson.
Relationship is over.
It's over.
Over.
All right, y'all, man. Today, man, I really planned on talking about just, and y'all go with me on this. I really need some feedback. I just think, and maybe it's me, okay? I'm not, sometimes I'm trying to be kind of kumbaya, all come together. Let's, you know what I mean? I knew, and I said this in 2023, that 2024 was going to be a different kind of year. But little did I know it was going to be this different. I mean, you got the cat versus comedy, the legacy, the comedy world going on. Then you got this recent Meg versus Nikki, which, has just gotten out of hand. And this is probably more so up your alley, Talib. Benzino versus Eminem.
Again?
Again. Yeah.
I mean, this is the second round for these two. You know, second, third round for these guys.
I guess
it's like, go ahead, Vi. Go ahead.
beefing is the way to make money.
Yeah, it's it's like when you get embers and you think you put the flame out and the embers just kind of glowing. Next thing you know, it's a full-fledged fire again. Well, Benzino, Eminem, here we go again. Trey Songz and Jacquees was just out of control, man. I don't know if y'all know about that one.
Yeah, that's what you call a beef. They pulling hair out.
They pulling locks out and the word. I mean, no offense, ladies, but the bitch word flying back and forth, and it's just crazy. And then the MAGAs are going after Taylor Swift, which is just we'll get into that. And recently the TikTok and Universal Music Group, the TikTokers are mad because so many songs, Taylor Swift music, Meg Stallion, ton of artists are coming out of Universal Music Group. You're still a DJ. Mm-hmm. A lot of music is under UMG, but nothing could compare us by. And I got to ask you about this, whether or not if this is really serious. U.S. has made strikes in Syria and Iraq as we tape. The day before, and you heard it in Mike's headlines. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 2024, man, and one more thing. I mean, the Trump election interference trial has been placed on hold. The federal side indefinitely. Oh, and then you got the Fonnie Willis stuff going on in Fulton County. And Texas,
right?
Texas,
and the border.
So let me ask you, Vi, about this war. Are we going to war, man?
I don't know if we're going to war, but this is serious. When you kill an American, that's one thing we don't tolerate. And then when you meant to do it. It wasn't no accident. It wasn't no friendly fire. You target Americans, you kill Americans. It's very serious. But I saw that their general is going over there to talk to their people, tell them, hey, back off America. Because now he's scared. Because you don't kill him. That's one thing you do doing. Like you saw what happened with 9/11. We don't take death. We don't take killing Americans. No, it's serious. It's serious.
So you're saying you heard that the Iranian general
he's going over to Iranian to tell them to back off.
Okay.
To leave the Americans alone. We're not fighting y'all.
Yeah.
We're supporting somebody, but we're actually not fighting. We're not in the fight. We're supporting the people that are fighting you, but we're not in the fight. So you don't want us to get in the fight.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Philippe? Go ahead.
We don't want it either.
Oh, no.
I mean, come on. Iran has drones. Iran has missiles. Iran's an incredibly large, not only an incredibly large country, but they have an incredibly large army. We've already played around in that space. When Donald Trump bombed, what was the name of the guy? I can't forget. I can't remember what the name of the general that we actually bombed during Trump's presidency. But we, man, this is not what we want. If we thought Afghanistan was a futile effort, this is going to be the same thing, except for the fact that there's going to be more people dead.
Well, the difference between us and most people, when America go to war, we try to fight politically correct. Now, if we go in there and do like Israel, okay, we're going to wipe you off the face of the earth. See, we don't do that. We try to fight politically correct. We try to respect the laws of the war. We fight correct. We don't fight dirty. We fight clean. But we go in and do like Israel, it's over.
Yeah.
And let me say this.
China's the only threat for us when it comes to stuff like that. That's it. Not even Russia.
I hear what your point to lead on Iran, but Iran economically has so many sanctions. I mean, the economics of the country is fragile. Yeah. And they're really just like North Korea, and they have the alliance with North Korea. They're fragile. They're still fragile, even though you're right. They have access to arms, but they won't say it that they're fragile. And I think
but you got to also, like I said, but you got to also the history. They're more of a threat than Korea. Korea
North
people
Korea,
ain't
yeah.
North Korea people ain't actually backing North Korea. They are for it. Now Iranians, this is about religion to them.
Yeah.
They don't mind. They ain't like us. You ask us a black man or a white man, okay, we're gonna ask you why I gotta do all this. you tell us to get a helicopter and fly it in the building. Oh, wait a minute, how am I getting that?
Right.
Iranians ain't worried about that. Allah, we dying for the cause.
Yeah, we are the great Satan.
That's the difference. They believe in what they doing, so they don't care about the sanctions. The money. We can. That don't mean anything to them.
Yeah.
So
They fight for the cause.
you basically saying they bout it.
They about it. They are about it. You can tell they killed.
For my Mardi Gras fans, you know what I'm saying.
They about it. They ain't like China. I mean, they ain't like Korea. No.
Yeah.
Make sure you're serious.
I still say, Vi, the sanctions, their leadership, they are concerned, and they're going to get.
I mean, I'm not saying they're
going to get help from Russia. They're going to, what is it? What do you call them? Bush gave them the name, the alliance,
The Axis.
Yeah, Axis of Evil. They're going to get support from the Axis.
Russia help anybody that's against America.
Yeah. So true.
Anybody.
So true. Yeah.
Even they don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
Russia, they're firm believers. Your enemy is my enemy.
So you don't. Yeah. So bottom line is, it's serious, but you don't see this going into a full blown war situation.
I don't think so because they don't want it. They don't want it either. They're the right people for Iran. They don't want it.
Yeah.
They don't want us. They got they got enough on their hand right now. They don't want us to go full-fledged war. They don't want that, and we don't want it neither.
Yeah.
But they don't want it. They don't want it. But I'm saying they might not want it. But we make a considered effort to go for it. They're gonna say, okay, all right, let's do this.
Yeah. So true. Talib, wrap it up on this. Your thoughts on whether or not this thing is gonna escalate.
I would love to say that I'm of the same mindset as Vi on this one, but I'm not 100% sure. There's so much at stake. Israel is taking such a stance on bombing in Yemen, bombing in Jordan. I mean, they're really trying to. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not really, because I don't trust Israel. They are very war hawkish right now. You know what I mean? And I would love to say that this, ends sometime soon, or at least if it doesn't end, that it stays contained to where it is right now. But I just don't see it, man. The more Israel goes on the offensive, the more enemies they are creating. And
there you go. There goes the problem.
Yeah.
Israel.
Exactly.
I don't know why Americans feel like we have to support Israel. What has Israel done for us to support them so much?
Well, AIPAC is the reason why the Americans are supporting it like that. And it's not the Americans. The general public Americans are not, they don't want this. They're like, yo, man, stop. That's terrible. Yeah. But it's, again, when AIPAC is spending the kind of money that they're spending, they are able to buy all of the political clout that they need. So now Netanyahu comes in like he's running America. He's telling us what to do and how we're going to get involved and what they're not going to do with the monies that we're sending them.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I don't trust it.
Yeah, and here's a situation, and I want to move on to the next question about that. Not about this, but about what's going on here. It's interesting because when you look at the polling, again, Biden had a pretty good week this week, versus Trump. But when you go into the war issue or the wars with the young audience, now, whether or not they come out to vote, that's the other thing about the young audience. But they are opposed. They're definitely opposed to what's going on with Gaza. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's a brutal situation, but I will say this in regards to the Syria and Iraq strikes this week. We need to be vigilant as a people in the U.S. because, as we're heading into spring, we'll be summer before you know it. And you know, as we tape this, the Super Bowl's coming up. They're already, as you know, there's a lot of chatter always, and there's no, and this is not from any official statement, but you know, there's chatter. There's stuff that Biden knows, and the brass, military brass, they know about things that they never talk about.
Of
but
course.
you can tell when they come out and make a statement in their restraint, they know something. Yeah. So I think as you go out, you need to be aware. You know, if you're on a train, you know, you know, we've been there before. Right. So we need to definitely know your surroundings. Just look around. Okay. Mm-hmm. The other thing, I do want to get into this because I thought it was pretty interesting how political it got quick. The MAGA and Taylor Swift. You know, I don't listen to Taylor Swift. I'm not a Swiftie. But the way Fox News.
Really, Thomas?
Yeah, that's right.
That was Swiftie.
But you know, what's the song? hey, but you know what? Bad Blood was banging though. Hey, you know what? I may throw that Bad Blood in the mix. But you know, the way this week, it was like the news outlets and these conspiracy theories, man. You know, talking about Taylor Swift has the Pentagon shapes and you know, and she's basically the NFL is rigged to benefit her and the Chiefs coming together to make. I see you sitting back like conspiracy. There he is. He getting that face.
Ain't no conspiracy.
Talib is gearing up.
No,
hey, Vi, before you debunk it, I want to hear what he has to say. Before you debunk it. Okay, I'm coming to you, Talib, first. Okay, NFL is fake. They said the NFL is like the WWE. You had people saying that the reason why Patrick Mahomes wears the WWE belt is because it's all scripted like the WWE. It's just like these conspiracy theories, you know, are crazy. What do you think, Talib?
I don't think it's. Well, okay, let's be honest, man. Since the Falcons,
you know what?
The Falcons lost the Super Bowl.
It's a podcast. So put it out there.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Listen, when the Falcons and New England were in the Super Bowl, and you know they had them up at halftime. I had a friend of mine who goes to the Vegas sports books all the time, and that's where he was watching the game. And he said the amount of people that started doubling down on the game for the Falcons led to the Falcons' loss because Vegas wanted to see that win. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that the NFL is totally fake, but we have seen some reports about these new gloves that have the magnetic in it, or you know they make catching the one-handed catch possible. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Look, man, there's always an edge, and this is America, and America is always about a good story and capitalism. You know, so with Taylor Swift, you know, I don't know why she's catching the heat. You know. Other than it might have been somebody who was not a Kansas City fan,
because she's hooked up with Kelsey. She's hooked up with Kelsey. Yeah.
So that means that there's a tension there. And I read an article, something to the effect that they've made more than like $33 million this year because of Taylor Swift's appearances at the game. Yeah. So all of a sudden, Kansas City has a story.
Yeah.
You know, and to come back with all these wins, and it looked like a couple of guys. It did look like a couple of guys were throwing the game in some of these games. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest. I'm gonna come. You know, so, I've had my doubts about certain things too. So yeah, I hear you.
I don't know, bro.
Vi, go ahead. Vi, go ahead.
No, it ain't rigged. I mean, I would believe that until San Francisco coach, he has a history of doing it. He don't know how to protect leads. So that's just his thing. What he did for the Falcons as the offense coordinator, he turned around and did the same thing with the head coach for the San Francisco. That's just his thing. Yeah. Now the problem with Magna and Taylor Swift, she won't say I'm voting for Trump. That's their problem. They don't like her because she won't vote for Trump. And y'all, everybody know how big she is. She's just that big.
She's over 100 million streams, over 100 million a month. Yeah,
that's what they're upset about. Because I would have a problem with it if I couldn't watch the game because of her. They only show her during when they go into commercial or right before they come back to the game. So I'm not crazy about it, but it's not harming the game. Like you said, they're trying to make that money because they know the Swifties is only watching it to see her. So they're going to do that. They're going to do that.
Go back to you, Talib.
Yeah.
Then I have my statement.
You see the latest controversy with Kelsey is that they're now renaming the box fade in honor of Kelsey because all of a sudden there's a white.
Not the brothers.
Now, who is the black folks doing that, or the white folks trying to do that?
Y'all haven't seen this? Y'all really haven't seen this?
No.
Wait a minute. What are they calling it? What are they calling it?
I forgot what they're actually calling it, but they're accrediting. They're like, yes, they're talking about this new hairstyle that Kelsey is wearing and how neat it is. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's a fade. It's a fade.
And even before that, even before we called it the box. Right, it was the high and tight.
Exactly.
The old school. Like you go into your old school barber. Oh, you want the high and tight? Yeah. Okay.
That's just the white folk way. They're always trying to steal our take credit for something that we done.
Yeah, it's cultural appropriation.
They don't like us, but they like our style. They like our lifestyle. They like our culture, but they don't like us. No.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in real quick, and I kind of agree with both of y'all to a certain extent, because here's my thing. I have no issue with Taylor and what she does with Kelsey and all that, and I think sometimes they overdo it in terms of the commentary.
Oh, definitely.
Because when you have the color guy and the guy who's calling the game, doing the game. Sometimes they get caught up in it, too much, and it goes because in a lot of cases, I like to see the actual fan reaction. I like to see the fans in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's all reaction coming from that booth, it's kind of like, damn, can we see some, at least mix in some of the Kansas City fans and not just go to the booth.
I agree with you on that part. They do show her too much. Because some of us is not interested in Taylor Swift,
right? And it's not about her. I mean, I've known her for a while. Going back to that incident with Kanye at the Grammys and all that. But bottom line is, when it comes down to the fan experience and people at home, we don't want to always see the fan reaction to a good play or the reaction to a good play on the Kansas City side going to that photo of the booth. Can we see the fans mix it up a little bit? It's not just all about, okay, she gets 100 million streams a month. Let's mix it up. If you mix it up, and I have to ask myself, because, at one point they were talking about Megan and Kelsey, because, Megan may have been. I'm wondering if it were Megan, would there be that same energy, coming from the NFL? You know what I'm saying?
That'd be a no.
Megan. What do you say, bye?
That'd be a no.
I don't know about it.
For one thing, she is not as popular as Taylor Swift.
Indeed.
And another thing, Megan clientele who is not who they're reaching for.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that at that. Okay. The other thing, because I do want to kind of go into this whole sports thing. I think you have to be aware of the refs. You have to know, because anybody can be gotten to, and you never know how they get to them. And when you have some of these refs who are consistently doing certain things, like there's one ref who the home team never win. You know what I'm saying? The home team, if this ref is the chief, official for the game, the home team tends to lose in an important game. So it's like you have to really scrutinize the refs more. Understand, I think the refs, almost like quote unquote the Supreme Court, you got to scrutinize what's going on, the disclosure stuff, all that. I'm not saying they're betting on the games and all that. No, but I think, the NFL is going to have to do a better job making sure that the refs remain transparent before, just I guess all year. If you're going to be a referee, either pay them more, because some of them have other jobs, when the season's over, et cetera, et cetera. You have to make sure you're on top of these refs. And that if you got to pay them, an exorbitant amount of money to keep them from getting caught up into anything seedy, then do it. Because you're going to have, these people who are, let me get to this other point. I'm going to throw it back to you. The other thing is the amount of drops with these receivers. It's amazing in some cases. I've seen some innocent drops, and I've seen some drops that make me go, what the fuck? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, as somebody who's watched football all the way back to the bomb to Drew Pearson back in the day, or Fred Biletnikoff, some of these, Jerry Rice, hell, look at this. What's his name? Sammy White got creamed at the Super Bowl, knocked out on the field, one hand up. Still, he held on to the ball.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We've made it easier for the receivers.
Of course.
The receivers are protected, but it seems to me, even knowing they're not going to get hit like helmet to helmet, they're not going to get creamed like a Sammy White got creamed back in the day, they still dropping these passes. So, I got to know, with all the technology, all the training, these athletes are on a different level. I got to know, why are we dropping so many passes at key moments? So I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, Val, I'll go to you.
Well, all right. I agree with what Cam said. When it comes to the referees, make it a full-time job. Put them on a salary.
Yes.
Because the NFL makes enough money to do that. If you put them on a salary, then you can start finding them and hold them accountable for the mistakes they made. Because they made a lot of bad calls this year, or calls they did not make.
Horrible.
Oh, now, as for the receivers, dude, they soft now. These receivers they're not worried about getting hit hard, but if they think they're going to get hit hard, they dropping that ball.
Yeah.
And then you got to also blame the concussion protocol thing now. The NFL don't got suited up by the percussion. They're not taking no more chances with that stuff.
CTE.
Yeah. So the game is not going to be as violent as it used to be. And that, to me, that's what I loved about the game, them hard hits. But
look, you're not
going to see that no more.
For the folks who may not be old enough to remember, they don't understand the name Tatum. Jack Tatum,
right?
Oakland Raiders. You know what I'm saying?
Because
and I hate to say it, because he was, I won't say responsible, but what was his name? The unfortunate player. Yes.
Yeah.
Stingley. I mean, they don't understand the era of Jack Tatum.
Yeah.
And some of these guys
run it live. No.
Shoot.
Yes, running live.
Because if the game played like it was today, I don't think I could have played ball.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't big, I wasn't fast. But when I got on that football field, I was fearless. Yeah. Everybody knew that about line. They said, man, that line boy can hit. Yeah. Boy, I used to lay that wood.
Yeah. I mean, you could go. Hey,
that was my game. Okay, got you. He did it.
Hey, we've been talking about Vi's.
That's the term we use. Hey, that's the term we used back in the day. Okay. I know we have changed it to another meaning.
Oh my God. Hey, Vi.
What?
I'm gonna have to get like, people have the bell, ring the bell every time you say something like that.
Oh man! When I saw him raise the time, I said, "No, let me go ahead and cut him off. Let me cut him off quickly."
Talib trying to help you. Yeah.
But That was my claim. But
He's trying to get you out of the no flex zone. No flex.
Hey, but that was my. If you're not real fast, I mean not real fast, but you gotta have a lot of speed and very skill. You can't play the game today because laying that hit, that knockout punch. No, you can't do that no more. Because in high school, even if it looked like you hit him that hard, they're gonna throw that flag.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's a legitimate proper hit, because I said it along the game, they do so hard. I said, "Oh my God, I think gonna throw a flag," and it was a legal hit, and I was right. They threw that flag, so you can't hit like that no more.
Right.
All right. Hey, last thing, and then I'll go around. We'll do the round table and your big takeaway for the week. But I do want to ask you all about the developments in this Trump case. It just seems like a double whammy this week. Yeah. When of course Fonnie Willis had to come out and say she had an entanglement with Wade, and then you had the Jack Smith thing just blew me away because I did not expect them to come out and say, well, because he is appealing presidential immunity, that this thing's on hold indefinitely. I'll start with either one of y'all wants to go on this. How do you think it's going to impact his accountability before the election? He's winning.
Yeah,
he's getting what he wanted. He was never. His thing is, I don't want to go to trial. I want to delay it. He's got what he wants. He's delayed. He's got what he wants. The only hope we got now is if the Supreme Court rule for the state saying they have a right to take him out the ballot because he was part of insurrection.
Right.
If that goes this way, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Not saying he's going to win presidency. I would say this much for him, though. If he don't win presidency, he's done.
But you know what? I got something to say about that. But I'll go to you, Talib, and I'll come back to that. Go ahead, Talib.
It's very disheartening to hear that once again our justice system is falling victim to money interests or political interests, and it has to stop at some point. The fact that come on, Fonnie. When you look at Fonnie Willis, up until now, impeccable work ethic, impeccable fire. I mean, this woman is dynamite in the courtroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she still is. To be fair, let's not.
Right. But what's happened is that there has been a bad light cast upon her and her judgment calls. And for me, again, I'm an outlaw. So it's not that I'm trying to speak up for the justice system or speak up for anybody that's a court of an officer of the court. But,
you call it like you see it. You call it like you see it.
Yeah, but this is terrible. This is a disappointment. And I don't know if they are really going. I mean, Donald Trump is already Truth Social, that this is a wrap. I'm out of here. Yeah. Because based upon this, we're not there, and the evidence is so overwhelming that it's like, how can we even look at Fonnie or what misstep she's made based upon the fact of Trump? What Trump did is just so in your face.
Yes.
It's like, come on. And then with the Jack Smith thing, come on, bro. Are we really with the evidence with the case that you built up over the last 2 years of this investigation, are we really going to be derailed by a non non-threat by something that's that unimportant? Political immunity? Why are we even talking about immunity?
Presidential immunity. Yeah.
Why are we talking about that when the man has committed a terrible crime against the United States?
Yeah. It's amazing.
I'm not talking. If this was like Trump did something to me, as a normal citizen and they were holding it up like this, I could understand that, because I don't have, it's me. It's just one citizen. But when you're talking about the country, this is against the political system that this country has been based upon.
Insurrection.
Come on.
Damn, it's insurrection. Okay.
Right. Stop it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to me, Talib, and that's I'm with you on that, because they had a scholar on this week, and he was talking about presidential immunity, and hell, can you imagine if Nixon had the kind of platform that he had? Fortunately, there was no social media, there was no cable news,
right?
There was no way for people to basically create their own distribution system for information.
Right
now, they have all this. So, they're able to sway the electorate, the people with social media, with streaming, all this. Yeah. And it is disappointing because he is not king. He is not a king.
Right.
And as they say in court, and several other judges have said, no one's above the law. So if that's the case, then try the man and let's keep it moving. Right. Let's not keep delaying this, because I always go back to say this, and people say, well, maybe you're being a little too harsh. I said, no. When Biden got in office, day one, he should have took care of this. My whole point was, it's like we ran to the polls in 2020 in great numbers to get rid of this dude. We did. That's one part of the reason why so many people went back to the polls in 2020. They were like, oh, hell no.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Out of fear, if anything, what's he going to do next?
Right.
So it's unfortunate that we got to deal with it and deal with it this way, and our own justice, the scales of justice are being used against us now. It's like but it just seems to me, Talib, and I'm gonna say this, and let's go ahead and do our big takeaways. What do you say, man? It's like the only thing that can step in and help us is going to be God. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And even they're trying to portray him as God. So it's
ignorant right there.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna give you a minute to regroup, to leave. And what's your big takeaway for the week, Vi?
My big takeaway of the week is I'm gonna say I'm back on the Trump thing.
Okay.
Is that I'm looking at Texas, a state that wants its independence. I'm going, why? So once y'all get your independence, do you think y'all should get federal support fund-wise anymore? Like Social Security, federal aid, federal grant, federal loan. So are they thinking about that when they say we're going to subside for that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So federal government is a big part of y'all. Y'all ain't doing it. Texas, y'all not doing this by yourself. And then I'm looking at my wannabe president. Why we want to put a man who said he supports it? So he support a state against the United States, but he want to be president of the United States. So why would you support a man who he support another state's independence?
He's supporting a state seceding from the Union, pretty much.
So you're going to support a guy who wants to hold that office. That tells you he's not thinking about the United States. He's thinking about, he probably only reason why he's running, not to help the United States, to make sure he don't go to jail. This man is selfish.
Yeah.
He's only thought about himself. Now you can support a state leaving the United States. It's like anything they're going to weaken the United States, he's for. He wants to get on the island by himself. He wants to pull out the pack. Everything is like he's working for Russia.
He
to break the United. I know that's what they're saying, but he's not. It's not like
far from true.
But I'm saying it's not like he's trying to hide it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Or we can just say he's doing everything he can to save his neck.
Yeah.
He hasn't apologized for anything. He said, I'm sorry. He has not said I'm wrong. Yeah. Why would you want a man who can't admit that he's wrong, who won't apologize, who think he's a king and think he's always right? That's a horrible leader.
Yeah, so true.
A horrible manager, a horrible president, that's a horrible leader in any type, business, sports, anything.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna stop you there, Vi. Let's go. Okay. Let's go to you, Talib.
Really, I want to piggyback on Vi's thing for just two statements. One, Donald Trump wants to be the last of the strong men. You know, he liked the way that Gaddafi ran his country. He liked the way that Putin runs his country. He likes Kim Jong-un. He wants to be the last of the strong men, and that's the way that it looks like, in my opinion, that he's handling his whole presidency and what his vision for the whole thing. The second thing is that why are we looking, or why do we respect sandbagging as a form of political clout? These people are, we've already, one of the big stories this week was that Trump has told everybody we're not doing anything with the immigration because I want to run on that. So when the Republicans, after all these years of having, they finally get their border deal, the hypocrisy comes in and says, "Hey, well, that's going to help Biden, so we're not going to touch it."
Yeah, don't pass that while he's in office. Wait for me.
Come on, are you serious?
Hey, you're right. I mean, I see what you mean by sandbagging. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And the patch has to come and say something to the effect of like, "Yo, this is stupid." You know what I mean? What's my man's name? The senator with the eye patch.
I know what you're saying.
He's come out and been like, "Yo, why are we doing this? We've got the border deal. We've been talking about this for years. Yeah. It's terrible." Sandbagging, come on. We're all black. We all know spades. If you're losing a hand in spades, you start throwing the game in order to make the other person lose. That's what sandbagging is. That's the political strategy that these people are using now, and it's terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not for the country. Not for the country.
No, not at all. My takeaway for the week was the BBC reports that a failed election candidate in New Mexico paid someone to shoot officials.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the story goes that a man in the U.S. state of New Mexico has pleaded guilty to helping a defeated Republican candidate carry out drive-by shootings at the home of Democrats.
Yeah. That's been going on for a minute. Yeah.
Come on,
I agree.
bro. I mean, what the hell?
It's crazy. Yeah.
This is what we do. This is what we do with our political rivals now.
This the Trump area.
Come on,
bring out the worst of them.
This is sick, yo. This is sick. This has to be stopped. And
I'm gonna say this, and I'll close it out. The big takeaway for me, after seeing what's going on with Jack Smith and seeing what's going on with Fani, because it's almost like, okay, that's your last line of defense before the election. Okay.
Right.
And you know what? If he runs against Biden on the up and up, then so be it. Whoever wins, wins.
Right.
But my concern is even if he loses, he's still going to claim he won.
I'm fine with that.
But yeah, you may be fine with him saying it, but remember 2020 and remember the fake electors and all that other crap we had to go through. It's unfortunately, I don't know if they've done enough to keep us from going through it again. That's my concern, So when I start hearing, and I'm hearing those whispers right now, that even like as Biden does better in the polls, and you're starting to see the economy had a great week this week.
Right.
The interest rates are starting to stabilize. I think the only thing left, if they can fix, gas prices are stabilizing, but if they can fix what's going on in the grocery store, stabilize grocery prices, that's going to have major impact on the election. People think it's kind of, oh man, you thinking small. No, I mean, when gas prices are ridiculous, people get pissed off. That hurts the president in the polls. But I'm telling you, if he can fix the day-to-day kitchen table issues that people face every day in their life, which happens to be, damn, that high-ass grocery bill. If he can fix that or do something, and they're trying to fix it even with the recent child income, the recent, it hasn't, I don't think it's passed completely. But those things help people's day to day. You fix that, then you do better in the polls. My concern is we're going back to 2020 again. We're going back to a situation where fake electorates, storming the Capitol. Maybe not the Capitol this time, but somewhere else. Maybe the White House. You never know. You just never know. I'm going to leave it at that. But what are your thoughts, y'all? Go to castropolis.net. Love your feedback, positive and negative on this episode. Again, go to castropolis.net, choose the people poll. Love to hear from you. Y'all give it up one more time to the country commentator, Vi. Trying to keep him out there. No flex. So, you know better. You can tell I got kids.
Oh, my brother.
No better. Y'all know that's the inside. Anyway, thank you, Vi. Appreciate you taking the time, man. I know you got big plans today. Tilly, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you jumping on, man. All right, y'all.
I'm singing blue skies, sunny days. Yeah. Life can get confusing, it feels like a maze. But girl, when I'm here with you, nothing feels the same. Got me losing track of time, and I know you're to blame. Yeah. 'Cause you know that your love's enough for the both of us. I swim in the deep end till I feel like coming up. Just here for the
Big thanks to Tanya B., Vi, Talib, and author and political analyst Harold Michael Harvey. Check out his Young Thug trial updates at haroldmichaelharvey.com. Thanks to the crew, Millennial Nick, Lady J, Regia, music by K-Dub, all those who help us make it happen every single week. Don't forget, y'all, all the links are in our social media bios or at castropolis.net. Share us with friends. Again, don't cost you nothing. Not only is the video version of our show now at YouTube, but you can also find it on Spotify. So if you want to check out the video, YouTube and Spotify are the places to do it. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, y'all, for new episodes. And with that, episode 211's in the can. Have a great week. Peace and power to the people.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. And This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.